Welcome to a film photography adventure that, after realizing the length of the project, I'm breaking into 3 parts. Here, in part 1, I will be shooting with a Chamonix F2 4x5 large format view camera. The primary focus of this video is to express the importance of film photography for me personally, and to also discuss whether or not film photography is still a viable option in 2024. I want to set up for my first photo of the day down here on this rock. I think it's got a really nice view of the rock formation in the lake over there. Not the exact location where we're heading. We're actually heading to Arrow Rock Dam, but this is a fine spot right here for my first photo of the day. Get rid of those so I can actually see the lighting. So what I've already done is loaded in 3200 ISO film into my Pentax 6x7. And I'm already going to just kind of meter. I don't mind if my highlights are completely overexposed, as long as I have some detail and shadows, which is what I want. So what I'm probably going to be doing is shooting f11 at 1/500th. Okay, so there's the beast. Now, in the next episode of this mini-series, I'll be shooting more with my Pentax 6x7. But in this video, again, I'll be using my large format, a style of photography digital technology will almost never replace and could never compete with. The primary reason being that with a view camera used for most large format photography, you have manual movements of film plane to lens that results in creative control over depth of field or focus points. Also, there's no electronics within a view camera, so they are lightweight and not affected by weather or temperature. And when comparing digital with film, even the smallest large format negative, the 4x5, can result in an image that is 3 times larger in resolution than even the largest digital image, like negatives that can be scanned at resolutions of over 300 megapixels. Not that you'd ever need an image that big, I mean, that's just insanity. So being that this is the first time I've actually come out here to do any kind of photography here at the Arrow Rock Dam, I'm very curious about what photographic opportunities there are. So I don't have my camera out. I do have my backpack just in case I see something cool. So we're just walking down here, gonna check out the area, and yeah, just kind of see what we're looking at, just kind of see what kind of formats. Since I brought my large format, I brought my 6x7, I even bought a 35mm. All of them have black and white film loaded into them already. So it's a black and white kind of day. One of the first and most obvious subjects, I think, is the dam itself. Basically setting up here, using something like my large format, getting a nice big 4x5 shot of that. But then there's some stuff across the dam. Old buildings and power huts and things like that. There's an old bridge up here. All of those might make some cool subjects too. Plus I really like this line of buoys with the boats nearby. Not to mention, as the sun is getting lower, it's casting really contrasty shadows on the rock face across. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my viewfinder app. I'm going to switch it over to 4x5, 180mm. And just kind of see that framing right there. Ow. And then as far as the dam itself, if I get a full shot of the dam, I'm going to want to be further away so I get the whole picture. I just have to hurry so that the sun doesn't get too low on that canyon side there. I want the treetops to still have some light on them. Okay. before we do anything, I like to level off my camera. It's gonna make it a lot easier as far as speed goes, as long as I know I'm in the right position. Because this is a semi-landscape photo, it doesn't have to be a perfect level. It just has to be good enough that, you know, it sits pretty steady on the shelf. That's where it needs to be. Grab my dark cloth and do my framing. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. Now I have a HP5. That's an ISO 400. So I really want to get the water as smooth as possible. Now I don't have any filters with me. I forgot them at home. So I'm gonna narrow down the aperture all the way to f64, which gives me a 1/4 second on my shutter speed. Okay. So I've just used my loop to double check focus. Close that up. We're gonna cock the shutter. And let's load our first sheet of film. Okay, here we go. Oh, an eagle. No, osprey. That's an osprey. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I know, I'm right here. That was cool. Should have brought my long lens. 3, 2, 1. And with that, we can set up for our next composition. You know, I just had a thought. What if down and around the bend is a better composition? Because the big thing that I'm annoyed with is the hillside behind the dam is being seen. I'm gonna go this way. I have to really watch my footing because this is what I'm walking on. It's basically a skinny little cliff edge. Oh boy. No. That is definitely going to give out. Oh, did you see that? Ooh, ooh, sketchy. Oh yeah, this is way better. Even with the giant, bright sunlight shining directly at it. This is the way to go. Okay. I just love the texture here too. I might just have to point the camera this way and get some shots there too. Okay, let's set up. I'm gonna try to work quickly with this one because I am getting roasted in the sun. I don't have to show you the entire process, I've already shown it. Lighting conditions might be a little bit different because of how bright the dam wall is. And I don't mean that in the cursing way. Literally, the dam is really bright. So I'm likely closing up my aperture a little bit. But let's get leveled off, frame up, meter, and then get the shot. Once again, I'm going for smooth water. Let's go f64 again and we'll go 1/15. How about that? Keep it consistent. Okay. No rush on this one. Just 3, 2, 1. It's that simple. So there's always this tendency when shooting large format to try to fit a whole lot in a frame instead of doing like detailed subjects. So the next 2 shots I'm envisioning, I'm going to shoot downstream a bit, the layers of the rocks towards the buoys, and then I'm going to shoot straight down the bank here, this rocky, scraggly surface. I just think it's catching the light really well. There's a whole lot of contrast and detail, and I kind of like it. I kind of like it, so I'm going to shoot it. This single fissure right here, I want that to be my primary subject. All right, this one seems to be calling for f/45 to get things in focus. f/45 in the rock face, f/45 at 1/30th of a second. All right, 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Oops. A lot of loose gravel, so I'm gonna try to be as careful as possible. Nice. 1/8 of a second. And that's the last of the HP5. Oh, suddenly there's cool air. And I think it's because the sun is officially going behind the hillside right there. Gotta be careful. Going back up is much more dangerous. How slippery all this sand is. There's like a makeshift path this way. I'll just take that, see where that spits me out. Oh yeah, that's much better. The entire process behind film photography is also a reason to pursue it. If you choose to shoot manual like I do, you have to learn how to meter a scene and expose properly. Sharp focus is achieved by paying attention to your depth of field and by using your eyes to see instead of relying on technology. The film stock you choose to load into your camera is dependent on the conditions and has an immense impact on your final image. It's slow and methodical. It forces you to be present with every image, making sure you love the composition and scene before you expose the frame, as there's no delete. And, except in the case of the half-frame camera like the Pentax 1.7, a 35mm roll of film generally only has 36 exposures, so it forces you to be choosy with every frame. Then, you have to be patient as you either send your film away for development and scanning, or you have to learn to do it yourself like I did. That builds so much anticipation and makes every photo even more magical. Film is definitely not for the impatient or the strict deadline photographer. It was so bumpy. It was so bumpy, my windshield wipers kept going off. Ah, this car. Film photography exists in the art space in much the same way that classical music or oil painting does. It is a traditional and sometimes more skill-based form than the digital version, but it's not necessarily practical for your average professional using their art for the commercial world. For example, it's much more common to see a graphic designer using a computer to create logos than with an airbrush and inks, just as it's more common to see a corporate headshot photographer shoot digital. Obviously, there's still a niche space for traditional art forms, but it is nowhere near as widespread as that modernized counterpart. So is film photography still viable in 2024? Definitely. Certainly, without a doubt, especially for the hobbyist who is passionate about that particular art form. But it will never replace, nor should it, the digital mirrorless interchangeable camera like my Sony a7R5 with lightning fast autofocus, ISO that can change photo to photo, instant feedback, accurate displays, and SD cards that can store thousands upon thousands of images. For the professional, doing without those benefits is impractical and illogical.
Did you see that? There's a fox on the road. Oh, a rattlesnake. What? A rattlesnake.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. How you doing, buddy? Yeah? Amazing. Wow. Now, obviously, I will never recommend you actually, approach a rattlesnake, especially if you find it in the wild. Because where else would you find it? But people around here actively seek out to kill rattlesnakes. They will run them over. Specifically, they'll pull over and shoot them with their guns. And I hate seeing that because rattlesnakes are incredible animals and they deserve just as much as respect as any other animal. Just because they have a bad reputation doesn't mean they deserve any less to live. And if anything, rattlesnakes are one of those important species to our environment to help keep pests down. So if you see a rattlesnake, give it its distance, stay away from it. Yes, they're beautiful animals, but stay away. That one was moving slow because the sun was down, which is why I felt okay approaching it. But otherwise, I would not have gone near it, except to help educate viewers of this YouTube channel who are here for photography tips. Don't forget to check back later this week for the second part to this outing, where I'll be shooting with my medium format 6x7 and a piece of kit that I'm so excited to share with you. So until then, thank you so much for watching. Click the like button if you enjoyed the video or found the topic helpful. I really appreciate all your comments and support, and I will see you later this week. Bye for now.